I've never been in line this long for a movie before, but it's as Catraz, and there are people in costume everywhere, so it doesn't really matter. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Hermiones, 3 Draco Malfoys, and I think that's Dobby over there. Points for creativity. Another Tonks! Hi, nice to meet you, Katie. I'm Julia, but today I'm Tonks too. Maybe I should have done a wig. The pink doesn't really show up in my hair. Yeah, we're living in Tonks. Cute, huh? Yeah, they're actually one of my least favorite couples, but you know, we're married in real life and they get married at book 7. How nice of your mom to come with you. Nice Luna costume. Yeah, we're here because my wife here, she did her undergrad research on Harry Potter fanfiction. Do you read fanfic at all? Well, this is way more fun than any of the academic conferences I've been dragged to. Yeah, my wife, did you hear about Prop 8 in Chicago? It's a long story. What, huh? Oh, yeah, sure. Bring back some popcorn. Or take pictures, or yeah, bring back some cosplayers and I'll take pictures. I should explain. Cosplayers are everybody here in costume, especially the people who take it seriously. Like this 40-something-year-old woman named Droxy. She's most famous for her Snape costume. And she sews her own clothes, she wears a prosthetic nose, and she takes little pieces of her own hair and uses them as stubble. It's pretty fucking convincing. But personally, I prefer it when it's less so, because then you can still see the hot chicks underneath. But here at cons like this, the higher, the more authentic you look, the higher your celebrity status, because there's usually 50 other people dressed as the same character. So, Katie, how long have you been a Harry Potter fan? Yeah? And you're in 7th grade now? Wow. Is this your first con too? Finally, my wife is back with a Snape. A tall Snape. Bent nose. I don't think that's a wig. My wife is kind of making a scene like usual. She's the other half of my OTP! OTP stands for one true pairing. In other words, the ship, oh God, now I have to explain shipping to you guys. Okay, ship is short for romantic relationship and can be used as a verb when you're talking about supporting a particular ship. For instance, I ship Harry Draco, or Harry Hermione, or Harry Snape. Nobody ships Harry Ginny except for J.K. Rowling, bless her heart. There are an infinite number of ships, and their names are often like mashups of the characters involved. So Harry Hermione becomes Harmony, and Draco Harry becomes Drary, and in this case, Snape Lupin becomes Snoopin'. And one's OTP is the ship that one ships the most. That's nice, dear. Hi, I'm Julia. I'm Lupin's wife. You have a great snake nose. And suddenly I'm surrounded by a gaggle of strangers. My wife is kind of talking to them and not to me, or me and Katie and her mom, but that's okay. Isn't it great how you can make friends at cons like this? I don't know why I've never been to one before. The movie's great, and now we're walking back to the car. I thought they set up the dynamic between Harry and Hermione really well, don't you, hon? And my God, Ginny was so wooden. Like that kiss. Absolutely disgusting. No, I don't know why they had Bellatrix burn down the Weasley's house either. That was a really weird move. What? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, they were cool. I mean, they seemed nice. Great Snape costume and all. But we didn't hang out with them, honey. You did. Second day. This also happens to be my graduation from a summer program at ACT, the American Conservatory Theater. I've been training with the same 20 classmates from 9 to 5, 5 days a week for 5 weeks. I've learned a lot, and I've made good friends, and I'm kind of sad to leave. Luckily, the only official convention program today, a thing on the program today, is the evening cruise around the bay, which we didn't bother to pay for. But my wife is sort of hoping to hang out with her new friends before the cruise. So, honey, in costume, really? To my graduation? Strangely, in her tweed vest and brown corduroy jacket, she isn't really standing out because she's left her mustache at home. She just looks like a slightly manic, dapper butch hipster. I am not in costume. The ceremony is short. We get up on stage in a line, we receive certificates, we bow. Afterwards, there are refreshments and photos and hugs. And then we all go out to lunch, and everybody's getting drunk except me, because at 20 years old, I still can't buy alcohol. Instead, I'm watching my classmate and her boyfriend, who's the only other partner present besides my wife. Honey, look at the way he's shutting down everything she says. It's so controlling, gross. She isn't paying attention because she's texting Snape. We leave the festivities early and join the Harry Potter posse. Heading down Market Street later in the day, taking pictures of Snape and my Lupin wife next to local landmarks, we run into some friends from lunch. Oh, hey guys, long time no see. They're used to my Harry Potter fanishness, and they've met my wife, but I think they're still a little bit startled by the sight of me surrounded by costume strangers, most of whom are skipping. So I make introductions, because they're not looking at me. Yeah, my wife is Lupin today, and this is Snape, and I think that's Lily over there. Great ceremony today, huh? I kind of want to join them. I mean, these are my people, and, you know, in the past few weeks, going home to my wife in Berkeley every night instead of hanging out with my actor gang in San Francisco, I felt a little left out. And anyway, they look like they're having a good time. Hey, maybe, hold on just a sec. Honey, oh, she's already 10 feet down the road. Sorry, I've got to go document the madness, but have a great time. And it's been great. It's been awesome. I'll see you around, yeah? Day 3. The panels are fascinating. The costumes spectacular. I am taking tons and tons of photos. And I'm not the only one. Lots of people are taking pictures of my wife and Snape in suggestive poses. Having people around in costume to act out every single fantasy that you've ever written about in a fanfic, that's fan fiction or stories about pre-existing characters, must be a hell of an aphrodisiac. That and alcohol. They're selling booze at the pajama party tonight, but we've already purchased our own at a nearby convenience store. We consume an entire bottle of vodka and a carton of orange juice in Snape's hotel room, where we're assembling last-minute character-appropriate pajamas. My wife and Snape are in t-shirts and Gryffindor and Slytherin colored boxers, appropriate to schoolboy versions of their characters. And I am wearing a slinky black night dress with the skirt really terribly cut off for Bellatrix Lestrange. I wasn't really rocking the pink hair, and anyway, Bellatrix is evil, which obviously means she's sexier. The funny thing about these sort of conventions is that the cosplayers who get the most attention are the ones dressed as male characters. I think it's because almost everyone here is female. The male characters are sex objects. I also noticed that people are referring to my wife and Snape not only as Lupin and Snape, but as he and him. My wife notices too, and is constantly readjusting her mustache, which has returned. Damn, this thing is itchy. I wish I could just grow my own. It's too late to catch Bart now, and my wife doesn't really want to go home anyway. So our Snape friend and her roommate who, wow, an albino peacock from Malfoy Manor, that's awesome. I wouldn't have thought of that. You look fantastic. Graciously offer us space in their hotel room. And so we end up like so many drunken teenagers sitting on the floor in a third-floor hallway in a circle with a bunch of total strangers who are now our best friends. Somebody, I'm not sure who, decides we should play Spin the Wand. Which is exactly what you think it is. I kiss our friend Snape, as well as 2 other Snapes, one of whom is actually, in fact, a man, and is far less attractive than either of his female counterparts. I also kiss the peacock costume roommate and Professor Trelawney, who is constantly trying to look up my skirt, which I must admit is not terribly difficult. My wife makes out with Snape. It's awkward, kind of hot, although, ooh, honey, that's a little over the top. You're kind of like bowling her over, and that's a lot of tongue, but I'm not jealous. I mean, we agreed to play the game, and look, we're playing the game. Sometime after 3 a.m., we stumble up to Snape's hotel room, and we settle on the bed to watch Prisoner of Azkaban. So that movie will forever be associated with the first 3-way of my life. The sex is good, or more like it's really very exciting. My wife is focusing on Snape, so I do too, because that's only fair, because she's never been with other women before. She thinks she's straight. Our Snape's body is different from mine or my wife's, and different from what I expected to be under the billowing Snape robes. She's tall, with large, pale breasts and a surprisingly dramatic hourglass figure. She hides these both on purpose. And she's not my type. But she is beautiful. We cuddle the next day. It's awkward. But good. The next day, the last day, is pretty much like the day before, except my wife and I are spending our Snapeless moments talking about how good the sex was. She's obsessing over it, the tiniest of details, and I really can't help but join in. I mean, it was hot. But she's also taking every opportunity to kiss Snape, which is really good for the cameras, but I haven't got the balls to do that. And Snape is really friendly, but she's not, I mean, I don't think she's interested in me. No, actually, they are cute. I'm Lupin's wife. Yeah, I know. They look great, though, don't they? Snape and the peacock roommate leave before we do, and so my wife frantically asks a Lucius Malfoy cosplayer, who seems to be in character at all times, even outside of conventions, how do you go back to real life? And he answers, you carry the con with you. I'm starting to feel sick. The next day, from home, we call Snape on the phone. I feel completely lousy. I'm covered in blankets, and I'm drinking as much tea as I possibly can because my nose is completely stuffed up and I'm sneezing and I have no voice whatsoever. I have what my sympathetic Facebook friends are calling con crud. It's disgusting. So my wife does the talking because I can barely listen on speakerphone. And at the end of the call, when we're saying our goodbyes, there's this pause where if my wife were talking to me on the phone, she would say, I love you. And I can tell she wants to say it to Snape, and she doesn't. But I wonder, in my con crud addled state, do we love her? And I wonder what it means to carry the con back to reality.